Hi everyone. So a lot of people could not get on the Zoom, and so I just wanted to go ahead, make a video for you guys to watch later. So if you're watching now, yay. So this is like really important. So today I kind of wanted to go over like maybe you're brand new or maybe you're not. It does not, like, I just want to say, guys, it does not matter how long it takes you to get your 4 customers, to get your first distributor. It does not matter how long it takes you to build your team, to do any of these things, right? There's no time limit. And I have girls left and right joining and then canceling after 3 days, and they're like, I'm just not good at this. Okay, well, nobody's good at this to begin with. Guys, let me tell you in the beginning, I look back at like what I was doing in the beginning and I'm like, wow, like I had no idea what I was doing. I was just saying stuff. And that's literally how it was in the beginning. And then it's like all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, like gradually over time, I learned new things and I kept growing. And because of that, I'm where I'm at today. And I'm not saying that like, oh, she's double down and it was easy to get here. Like, no, guys, it wasn't easy to get here. My first month, I signed 2 customers. And I made like $50 because my upline gave me some customers and helped me out. And then, the next month is when I started getting serious because I was like, okay, like I really do need to make some extra money with this. And I was always like, I always believed in this company, but I didn't necessarily do the work that I needed to. So, right from the get-go, I wasn't very serious, and then I kind of got serious, and then I went to conference, and then everything changed, and I was like, okay, like, this is amazing. This opportunity is like nothing else. I'm just going to realize that, this is going to take some time. And you guys kill me because you give this like 2 or 3 days and then you're like, okay, this is just not for me. Well, it's not for you because you haven't even given it a chance. Okay, so let me give you guys an example. Most everybody here has had a job before in their life, right? So maybe you haven't had a job, but you're in school. Whatever the case may be, you start off and you're kind of lost, right? Especially in a new job. You don't know, especially like, let's say you've never been a cashier, and all of a sudden, like, you're applying for a job and you get the job, and somebody's training you, but they're like on the other register, and you're like scared to ask for help, right? And maybe you're like me and you're bad at like money and like counting change back and stuff like that. That crap scares me. Because that's not where I'm strong at because I haven't done enough of it. So if I were to go get a cashier job right now, it would take me months to really be a good cashier and, learn where all the barcodes are. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The barcodes, and figure out, like, I would go slow, right? Everybody starts off slow, and then you can always tell, like, when people have been there a long time, they're, like, scanning that stuff, like, so fast, and it's because, like, they know, okay, this barcode's on the back. This one's usually on the bottom. I scan this, like, 20,000 times a day. I know where it is now. But in the beginning, they were slow, too. Nobody wakes up, and is like, okay, I'm an excellent cashier at Ingles. Like, no, they take years to build up, and then, it's second nature to them to check somebody out in, 90 seconds when they have all this stuff, and they count change back, like, so fast, and they barely even have to think about it. Meanwhile, I'm, like, double checking myself and, like, looking for the barcodes and going so slow and, like, trying to strike up a conversation. You see what I'm talking about? At any job, you're going to have to train, and you're going to have to learn new things, and it's going to be hard. And it's going to be testing at first because it's a new environment. You may be doing something you've never done before. If you have done it before, it might be different because working at Walmart is a lot different than working at Target. So it might take some time it's going to take you some time to adjust, to understand, and to really get good at what you're doing. So, and then, those cashiers that have been there years and years still have to learn and keep up with the new things that, they have the cashiers do. So don't think that, you know, like as of me, like I know everything because I'm double diamond, I've been doing this a year. Like that is not the case. I learn new techniques and ways every single day. And is it hard at first? Yeah. Is it something I don't necessarily want to do at first? Yeah. Is it something I might have to ask my upline 20 times about and be like embarrassed because I still don't know what's going on? Yes. Okay? So stop giving you X amount of time to be successful because one, everybody's different. Two, you have to accept right now that it's going to take time. You're not going to wake up one day and know how to respond to every single potential customer and distributor there are. Okay? It's going to take you times, and then, you know, you might have to ask me, you know, what would you say in this case to this potential customer? And I'm going to tell you, well, here's what I usually say. Well, now you have that down. So when that comes up again, you're going to be like, okay, well, last time Allison told me to say this, so I'm going to use it again. And you know, you keep going. You run into new scenarios, and then you ask for help. And then when that scenario pops up again, you're going to know what to say. So stop. Oh, like I don't know how else to put this, but stop thinking that in 3 days or 24 hours, you're going to know if you're good at this business or not. Because you're not good at this business until you give yourself a chance. Okay? 3 days is not giving yourself a chance. How long do they usually train you at jobs? Like at least 2 weeks, right? Maybe more. You girls that have been in the military, you guys that have been in the military, do you just walk up in the military and like they send you to Iraq? Like, no. You go through basic training, which is 6 to 12 weeks. Right? And then if you don't pass, you got to keep going. You got to keep building up that strength. You don't all of a sudden have all this strength and muscle and know what to do, and maybe you don't even know how to swim. I had people, so I used to be a JROTC, right? But I had people going into the military and not knowing how to swim, and they're like, oh my God, like that's something that you have to train, that you have to learn to pass basic training. And they were like, oh my God, like I don't even know how to swim. And they were scared, but guess what? They went anyway, and they learned, and it might have taken them a little longer to pass basic training because they had to pick up that concept. Swimming, think about this job as anything else. Riding a bike, you don't just get on a bike for 3 days and try 3 times, and then you're like, yeah, I'm just not good at this. No, you keep going, right? You realize that with every day and every practice, you're going to learn something new. You're going to learn, okay, this break does this, and every time I fall, it's usually because of this, and every time, you know, I get to going too fast, it's usually because of this, you know, whatever it is, just like swimming. You know, and your parents might have threw you in the water and just said swim, it never works, right? So, it never works, and you have to pick up that drive, that, you know, the part of your brain that knows like, okay, like this is how you swim. It's not something to where you're like, you know, you jump in and you're like, oh, like I'm an Olympic swimmer. Like that does not happen. Okay? So stop thinking in this business that you just join, money falls from the sky, and that you automatically know what to say, and after 3 days you should be good at this business, because it's not happening. It's not, okay? Stop giving yourself a time frame and stop giving up after something doesn't go your way. After you get a potential and you don't know what to say, ask your upline. Guys, that's what we're here for. You're not alone, so I don't even know, like, you know, when you're riding a bike and stuff, like you might have somebody there like holding the back of your seat, but eventually you have to go out on your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, you always have somebody, right? Or maybe you don't, like at your job, they might train you once and then they're like, okay, like do your thing. And then you might run into this scenario where this person wants to come up and ring up like zucchini. You've never seen zucchini in your life. Like, I don't know, like I don't even know what it looks like. So let's say somebody comes up and brings you zucchini and you don't even know how to like, what this thing is that this person's asking you to ring up, so like you have to ask somebody for help, right? Same thing with this business. Somebody might say something and you have to ask for help because you've never ran across this scenario before, okay? It is fine, okay? Ask for help and then move on. And remember that for the future, so that way you don't have to keep asking the same thing. Like, you run across this scenario and you're like, okay, I dealt with this last time, I know how to deal with it now, okay? Literally, I run into potentials and things even today that I really don't know what to say back to, and I have to ask my upline, hey, can you give me some advice? What would you say back to this? And then for the next time that I run across that scenario, I know what to say. Okay, so stop thinking that you should join and know everything in this business, because that's not how it works. Your knowledge like builds on itself, just like at Walmart when you're the cashier, your knowledge like builds on itself. You start going faster, you start knowing where all the barcodes are to scan, you're more comfortable talking to people. Hey, how's your day going? Did you find everything okay? Like, they usually don't say that at Walmart, but like Publix, the nice grocery stores, they say stuff like that. And for me, you know, my anxiety is like crazy. So that would be something that I'd have to learn. You know, just like when I joined this business, I could not even get on Zoom or have these videos even by myself and talk because I was literally so scared. And my anxiety, like I would like shake, but now I'm getting used to it. Like, I'm building on my strength, just like you would if you were swimming or riding a bike. You know, at first, you're going to have somebody there holding your hand every step of the way of swimming. Like, they're going to make sure you don't drown. And then you have to realize when you go underwater, like, you can't breathe, because if you do, you're going to, die, right? So, like, I know it sounds silly, but just think back. How long did it take you to ride a bike? Maybe you've never done that. How long did it take you to swim? How long did it take you to train at your job? It wasn't 2 or 3 days, right? Let me tell y'all another scenario for y'all that really like scenarios. So when I did cross country in high school. I honestly never played a lot of sports because I was really bad at them, mainly because I didn't do them, right? So it wasn't for me because I never really tried sports. But the idea of running sounded really fun to me, because that's not really, I guess in my mind I thought, well, that's not really hard. But then I got in cross country. I ended up loving it. But, you know, when I first started, I ran my first 5K in 45 minutes. And I was the last person. I came in last. I was not overweight at the time, but I was very out of shape. Very out of shape. I didn't do anything. I sat around. Like, I ate all the time. And I just didn't really do much. So my first 5K was 45 minutes, and I felt like I was dying. And, you know, we had practices every single day. So, you know, after, you know, going for about a week, my soreness wore off, right? So it was hard that whole week because I was so sore. It's literally insane how sore I was from running because our practices were very intense, right? But anyway, so that first 5K was 45 minutes, and then the rest was just practices. And we didn't really run 5Ks for time every single time. We just kind of like ran, okay, like run 2 miles on the trail today, run 1 mile on the track today. Like, we did different practices. Within a month, my mile time, or my 5K time, went down to 35 minutes. Right? And it took hard work to get there. I was sore. I was tired. I felt like I was passing out. You know, I wanted to go hang out with my friends instead of run cross country, like, because our meets were about an hour and a half practices after school, and like I was like, dang, like I could just sit at home and like not come to these practices, but I had to deal with myself that I was gonna keep getting better. So anyways, I ended the season, my best mile time was I think 32 minutes. So, you know, within the season, which is about 4 or 5 months, maybe just 3 months, it wasn't very long, I improved a ton. Was I over here running like this girl? So this girl that ran at our cross country, she started off running even at our first 5K that I went to that we did for time. She came in 21 minutes. 21, guys, okay? Did I instantly compare myself and say, why am I not running in 21 minutes? No, because she was in shape. She had done cross country every single year. She had done track too. She worked up to that. She didn't start at that. So, you know, oftentimes I was like, dang, like I wish I could be like her, but then I realized I could be. It's just gonna take hard work, right? So the next year I did cross country again. I did track during that season, and I did 2 miles, which was very hard. I also came in last. I was very bad at it when, you know, it wasn't that I'm bad. I just needed more practice, right? Anybody can do anything with the right amount of practice. So the next year, my first recorded 5K run was around 30 minutes. So I had shaved off about 2 minutes from last year, or the last season. And then, you know, I kept going, and I was like, okay, I don't care how much practice it takes. I want a first place medal like Lauren does every single time. And that was the girl that did, you know, came in 21 minutes. And she kept getting better. I mean, she went to state and got like 18 minutes, 15 minutes here and there. I mean, it was crazy. She kept getting better because she kept practicing. She was always so positive at practices. She was like, yeah, girls, like, let's do this. She was that bubbly person you wanted to be around, and she did amazing, right? Everybody wanted to be like her. So, anyways, so I kept going, I kept practicing, I kept pushing through competitions where I'd literally come in last, right? But I didn't give up because I knew that if I didn't give up, I'd keep getting better. So my senior year, so the last year of me doing cross country, I came in at 25 minutes. It was like 24 something, closer to 25. That's crazy for me. To think I started off at 45 minutes a year ago. You know what I'm saying, guys? Like, think about that in this business. And I remember after that, I came in at 25 minutes. I actually messaged Lauren, and I was like, hey, girl, like, I wish that I could run 5Ks like you and go like to state and nationals and, you know, all these competitions that she was going to and winning medals in. And I was like, you know, how did you start doing this? And she told me, okay, it was our senior year. She told me that she had been running since 6th grade. 6th grade, and when she first started in track, she came in last. Okay? She started off no different than I did. I came in last, right? Okay, so here's my point. Lauren could have quit in 6th grade and said, okay, this just isn't for me. Like, running just isn't for me. I'm just not going to do it. If she would have done that, she never would have won those medals and made it to state and national competitions when we were in our senior year of high school. Now, why did I tell you all this baloney? Because it's not, right? Because I started off no different than you. I started off clueless. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I had all these resources. I didn't know how to use them. You know, I had to listen to my upline and hold her hand the whole way through. And did I sign a lot of customers my first month? No. Okay? So, you know, my strength builded on each month, right? Each month I kept getting better. Each month my paycheck kept rising. Each month it may have been like, you know, this much of a difference to just this much. But I kept going. Okay? So that's my point. Don't wake up thinking that you're not good at this and you're not good, you know, at it works because you haven't had enough time. It doesn't matter how much time it took, okay? She took literally years of her life to get that dream that she was going after, okay? 6th grade to 12th grade, that's 6 years. 6 years, but she wanted to be the best and she kept going, guys. And she made it to national cross-country meets, and I forget, she was like number 6, like in the whole United States. Like, it was crazy. She was like in our newspaper because we were like from a small town and nobody expected that. But look, like, she worked really hard to get there. Just like in this business, You're not going to start off making money from the sky and know everything that's going on in the business. You're not going to know what every single product does. You're not going to know every perfect script. You're not going to, know how to eSuite works, like host to post. Like, you're not going to know all those things, but you have to keep going and you have to keep improving every single time. And the more you improve, the closer you are to the end goal, right? But if you give up, you've literally got rid of it all, right? You've completely got rid of that dream. Just like if Lauren would have quit, she would have said goodbye to all the medals she won, which were tons, and all the the competitions that she was able to go to, like being in the newspaper, all this stuff. And she had dreams of that and could have said in the beginning when she was coming in last and her first mile time was probably 15, 20 minutes. That's what mine was. But she kept going, right? Ask anybody that was in the Olympics. They didn't just wake up and get placed into the Olympics and had no hard work to get there, okay? They worked literally so hard to get to where they're at, and now they're rewarded, okay? So just like with this business, you guys have to realize that you're not going to wake up a millionaire. You're not going to wake up with every answer to every question. You're not going to wake up this perfect team leader ever. But you're going to keep getting better and you're going to keep building on your knowledge. And as long as you stick with it and keep increasing, you're going to be amazing. So stop giving up on your dreams just because you think you're not where you're supposed to be right now. Was it frustrating when I did cross country and, I saw my mile time only, shave off by a minute? Yeah. But I knew that's a minute closer to where I wanted to be, right? So, long story short, guys, this isn't very long, 20 minutes. So hopefully everybody watches this. I think this is just a really good reminder for everybody. I'm double diamond, but I haven't reached my dreams and my goal yet. I know it's going to take hard work. I know that I'm not even close to where I'm going to be when I'm ambassador. I know that I haven't, reached that level of knowledge yet. I haven't built that team. I haven't went through those experiences to get me to ambassador yet, but I know that every month I'm going to be this much closer, and it's going to keep growing, and I'm going to keep getting closer, and I'm never going to give up. And I don't care if it takes 10 years for me to go ambassador, I'm going to do it. I don't care, because guess what? What other job are you going to stay at 10 years and that's going to pay you better than what a doctor makes? Nowhere, okay? So, it's fine if you want to do this full-time. Part-time. I do this full-time, and this is my goal, this is my dream, this is everything I've got. But if you just want to do this part-time, you still need goals. If your goal is to go diamond and then sit there, forever, that's fine. But you're not going to get to diamond by going like this and not doing anything, because you're eventually going to quit. But as long as you keep going and you keep increasing the knowledge, you keep growing your paycheck, growing your team, taking the necessary steps you need that is going to take you to the next level, messaging, following, posting, talking to more people, that kind of thing, you're literally going to be fine. So I hope everybody has a good night, and I hope that you've really thought about this and taken time to watch it. If you have any questions at all times, let me know. And that's all. Bye.